Peace and blessing to the chosen. Peace and blessing to the chosen. Drop the 7 in the comments. If the audio coming through clearly. All praise to the Most High, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and everything that's in them. The same one who blessed us to have the function of the muscles in our faces where we can express emotion. Who blessed us with the senses to hear, who blessed us with the senses to be able to even speak, to communicate our thoughts through voice. The same one who blessed us with the senses to see, giving us vision. The same power and authority, the creator of everything that can be seen, that cannot be seen. He created smell. He created the nose. He created these limbs of our bodies, the fingers, phalanges, clavicle, scapula, the brain, the 11 systems, well, really the 12 systems of the body, of the temple. The same power and authority, man, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The same Jacob whose name was changed to Israel. Peace and blessing to everybody tuning in. As you come in, smash the like button. What they do, they put the video in the algorithm. Along with that, subscribe, smash that bell. When you click on the bell, hit the drop down tab. After you hit the drop down tab, select all. That way, any activity from this channel, you will be notified about it. What else? Anything else before we dive into it? Okay, I see 7. Let me get a second witness. Drop a 7 in the comments if the audio coming through clearly. Audio and the visual. Drop a 7 in the comments for me. If everything coming through clearly, peace and blessings to everybody who tuning in, everybody who gonna tune in, everybody who have been tuning in over the years, over the months. If this is your first time on the channel, all praise to the Most High. You welcome here. If you come with shalom, you come with blessings, you come in peace, may it be returned to you. But if you come with cursing, you coming with evil, may that be returned to you. That's how we move on this side. I pray the week has been that which the Most High wanted for us. And I'm saying that because I feel like that's the best way to say it, because sometimes what we think, what we feel like, we might not feel so good about a certain situation or matter, but it'll be from the Most High. It'll be the molding. It'll be him showing you something. It'll be him putting water on you to grow you. You know what I'm saying? And we need that. We can't be stagnant. We got to continue to grow in the Most High. Over the time, over the months, over the years, sacrificing and those many different things. All right, so as the rest of y'all get on in here, I'm going to share my screen, man. Share my screen. Get a tune going before we jump into it. Man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here yet again, man. Another hour, another day with y'all. Yeah, I'm so I call it so long. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Another day, another dollar bill. I often wonder how the Father feels about me as a person overall. Producing good works, well, at least they good to y'all. But are they good to him, though? Noah's Ark, that they lose this, that shim flow. Found the truth, still hunt for certain pieces of myself, bro. Used to talk, now it's hard to speak, no strep, bro. Crazy how we grow apart from ones that we kept close. Gotta focus on the signs like the deaf folks. Doing life for people who we gave death for. Sitting in that cell for the people that he stepped for. He the same one that they all turn their backs on. They disappear when the stack's gone and show up when you back on. Set your bounds for the immigrants. People how they only come around when it benefits. Because it's filled with the Holy Spirit. You feel it when you hear it. One-on-one can't copycat, clone, or mimic this. confident to prove it. Standing in the gap against the phantom of confusion. The head of a devil get trampled when I lose it. Chin up, sis, truly beautiful. They lied to you when they told you you were stupid. They lied to you when they told you you were useless. I ban suicidal thoughts and depression and anything else meant to hinder your progression. I pray for healing from what and whoever hurt you. I pray your patience be extended, it's a virtue. I pray for your success. Take a leap of faith, I pray it come with no regrets. Flies a dove, pray they don't catch you in the net. You deserve a bigger picture while it's finished, not just sketch. I'm praying for the autistic and the epileptic and the cancer patients and the diabetics. All the ones affected, all the ones we lost. We still mourn your presence. I pray the daddies live to see their sons become men and their daughters into honorable women. Inherit wisdom, pray they use it not to fumble the business. Sincerely yours, how I signed it when I sent it, cause I meant it. I really pray we be included in that remnant. Eternal life stretching further than a limousine. Pray we keep the faith while we face with the guillotine. I pray for prayer cause I can really use it. I pray we make it into New Jerusalem. Talmud, sincerity, entirety, faith, sound, whole, complete. Talmud.
All right, peace and blessings, man. Shalom, shalom to the whole chat. Everybody who here with me right now. Everybody who gonna catch the live stream later. Everybody over Facebook. Everybody who tuning in over Instagram. Peace and blessings to y'all, man. The title of the message today: Challenges of Parenting. Challenges of parenting. So if you don't know, if you're not a parent, you know what I mean, this will be insightful and edifying for you. You know what I mean? Even if for those who may be expecting children, those who just now stepping into their pool of parenthood, those who have been parents even for a while now, or those who are grandparents, those who are great-grandparents. This message is pertaining to that in the realm of the different challenges that comes with trying to guide another soul, trying to raise another soul, or souls in this wicked world. For the children who tune in, or the youth, the young teens, and the young adults who tune in, it'll also be insightful for you to know how parents think. Sometimes the parent comes off as overbearing. Sometimes the parent might come off as overprotective. Sometimes the parents might even come off as being mean. Sometimes the parents might even come off as being strict. And it's not always understood. Understanding that the parent, we as parents, as elders, have seen a lot more than the children have. We've been exposed to different things in our childhood. And those things that we've been exposed to in our childhood when we were young, when we were toddlers, when we were teens, when we were young adults, a lot of those things is horrible, man. We've seen our friends, our associates, we've seen their lives come to demises. We've seen the choices that they've made that led them to destruction. And so seeing those things, we had the mindset to look out for our children. But however, we raising these babies in a totally different world. You know what I mean? My childhood, I can remember, not actually seeing as much evil that I see now. It was way different. The world has always been evil. You know what I mean? The world has always had evil in it since the fall of Samael. Since the fall of the adversary, since the fall of the enemy. But now, having the internet, having, cell phones, having this type of access to sin, which makes it a web for everybody, the dangers increase, the influences of evil increase. You know what I'm saying? So out we raising children in a world where we have to try to fend for them and be a shield, guide and teach them against all these different wiles of the devil. You know what I mean? That's outside of that's before we even, you know what I mean? Well, after some of the parents who dealing with raising with children who have been born with defects. You know what I mean? You got children that's been born where their temples is not whole. You know what I mean? The challenges of raising children who have sickle cell. The challenges of raising children who are autistic. The challenges of raising children who are critically asthmatic. The challenges of raising children who were born with hemangiomas, even as my daughter was. But all praise to the Most High, she was healed from it. But you know what I'm saying? As a parent, man, those things become stressful. Those things, you know what I mean, weigh on our hearts, weigh on our spirits. Raising the young teens, and they want to go out. They want to go experience this, go to parties and be social, a lot of them. And then you worrying about your child leaving out the door and not ever coming back. It's possible. You worrying about when your child, will they be influenced by drugs? Will they be influenced by alcohol? Will they be bullied when they go to school or just being bullied in the neighborhood? Some of us was bullied. Many of us have been introduced to drugs and alcohol at young ages. And those influences led to habits that even now is strongholds over many of them. It was that child was once a little fat, chubby, little sweet baby, but grew up and got influenced or introduced to a drug that led that child to be on heroin. They led their child to be a addict to pills and to be super angry. But they had been exposed to it. In other cases, I'm not talking about the parents who they purposely expose their children to things. Purposely exposing your children to, what's the word I want to use? What should be private and reproduction in humans. I'm gonna say it like that. Exposing these children. You got parents that say, well, I want to smoke weed with my child because, you know, if they go out in the world, you know what I mean, they better trust me more. And that ain't always the case, which a mass portion of this message for the parents is to understand that our children, family, brothers, sisters, our children have to make their own decisions and choices in the end too. Just as you had a mind to go against the teachings of your parents, or not necessarily straight up rebel against them, but you yielded to these influences. You yielded to your peers. You want to go kick it with your friends or your partners or your homegirls. And in the midst of it, y'all end up doing something that you know you didn't learn at home. But in the end, family, the thing that I'm talking about, like I said, a mass portion of this message is for us to understand that it is a challenge to be a parent. It is a blessing to be a father, to be a mother. It is a blessing to be able to have children, because you got people out here, listen, they suffering on the inside because they're childless. That bloodline of that man, he want to continue his bloodline. He can't do it. You know what I mean? He done tried. She feel less of a woman because she's not able to get pregnant. But within parenting, like I said, all these different challenges of knowing that your child has to be protected and taught against witchcraft. It's people out here who they training their daughters and their sons. Might be next door to you, right next door to you, across the street from you. They putting pentagrams. They making pentagrams on the ground, on the floor, in the house. They tell them, yeah, this how you cast a spell on somebody. I'm not talking about those parents, but that becomes a challenge for parents who want to raise their children to be righteous or honorable people in a world that's glorifying the evil. The country itself right now is prepared to celebrate Halloween. Been preparing for months. The country itself is okay with celebrating a satanic holiday, which once was illegal. And not just Halloween, Christmas too. But those influences for paganism, that's what that turns into. So we either raising pagans or we raising people who the Most High be pleased with. All right, so, but as a parent, our job is, because another thing, you got parents who, certain parents become problems for other parents because how they're parenting. What I mean is, this man or this woman didn't get to do that in their lifetime. So they trying to relive life through their children. The things that you didn't have or that you didn't get to do, you exposing your child to it early. To where now we seeing the little girls out here. The little girls got on tights and belly shirts. I ain't even 5 years old. The little girl got weave in her head, makeup on. I ain't even 5 years old. I seen some a couple years ago, dude was getting his son tatted. A little boy got his son tatted. You know what I mean? And so those influences, so some would say, well, it don't matter what you do in your household and how you parent. That ain't going to affect me because we not teaching our children it. But it goes back to what I said. Our children, they have their own souls too. So what we teach them, they might grow up and say, well, I heard what Pop said. I heard what my mama was teaching me. But because my dad or my mama didn't play drums, but dude, right, this rock and roll star dude, he played drums. Now I got a common ground with this rock and roll star. But the rock and roll star serves Satan. So then they end up being influenced by somebody who they feel like can relate to them. And it's a whole lot of them, man. Again, like, we got to protect our children against the LGBTQ plus community. When I was young, I was in elementary, Memphis, Tennessee, going to Westwood. Bro, it was another a middle school called Jeter that I was aware of. And they had this saying that was throughout the schools. That they said it started in Jeter, but they had this thing called GTO. GTO, gays taking over. That's when I was in elementary. Lo and behold, look at the world now. At that time, the people that was dealing with that spirit, you know what I'm saying, and that lifestyle under that influence, man, that was hid. That was shame. You know what I mean? You had people though, hey, I'm not saying that it's okay the bullying thing, but you had people who would mock you if you was on that. If that was the type of time you was on, like, man, this man crazy. Look at, we want glorifying it. But nowadays, it's saluted. It's policies created for it. It's encouraged. It's sought after. You can be penalized for going against that community. Counseled is the word that they call it. So we got to defend the children. It's a challenge. Protect them from that. Teach them that that's wrong. That ain't the way to go. Then within it, again, bullying. You send your child off. Send your child off, man. It is no type of anger. I don't think it's any anger equal to finding out that somebody else's child is bullying your child at school. You know what I mean? That turns to an issue because what are the parents teaching the children? Then what is the children allowing themselves to be influenced by and with? The environments that these souls are being cultivated in, man. Got to protect our children against molestation. A lot of times the molestation don't come from somebody on the outside. It comes from somebody on the inside. Somebody who got access to the child, to the children. You know what I mean? We got to protect them from that. That's a challenge. This is, we talking about parents that actually care. Parents that actually love children, that value children, who have a value on life. And then that leads into something else, family. The children that we having, many of the parents, before we even become parents, We have to look at and analyze the households and the people who we decide to have children with. What kind of values of life do this person have? Again, if you just dealing with somebody based on how they look, I'm opening it up to y'all, letting y'all know I was immature, very immature in my decision making. Not purposely rebelling against what I had been taught at home, but yielding to my flesh as a young man. End up having a child at like 18 years old. Didn't really, I saw the family of, this particular individual. I saw how she was moving, but I chose to look past that to yield to my flesh and my lust. So I'm saying that to say, for anybody who tuning in, if you haven't become a parent yet, those who are young, man, take my life. Take my life as an example. Man, that's not something you want to do. You got to look at the families of these people. Because you have the value to say, man, I'm going to raise my daughter, I'm going to raise my son to be honorable. I'm going to raise and admonish my children up in the fear of the Most High. I'm going to train my child to be somebody who can be respected and who also renders respect. But if you dealing with somebody, you ain't tried the spirit by the spirit. This person here might be teaching your child to say, F you. Yeah, I heard that before. You know what I mean? So I'm not speaking about these situations, from the sideline. I'm speaking about these situations straight from my shoes, bro. Straight from my shoes, sis. But the challenges of parenting. Y'all can drop any other challenge that I might have, that I might not have mentioned. I might not have mentioned in the comment section. But you want to be careful to try to be equally yoked, because then that becomes, again, a challenge. That becomes a challenge of parenting. But you don't know how it feels for you to try to raise your child this way, instill these values in your child. And then every weekend you gotta, when you see your child, you gotta reprogram them. You gotta try to reprogram your child from what they've been exposed to throughout the week or in your absence for their time period. Because when they go with the other half, they go with the other parent who has a different teaching style. You know what I mean? That can create confusion in your child. That can cause your child lashing out at you because they don't understand. These are challenges of parents. All right, so let's go with Deuteronomy 24 though. But ultimately, our goal, our job, our duty as parents, despite the challenges, bro, we lay it out for them. We let them know. We give them the truth. We be a guide to them. We tell them what's right from wrong. We don't clap for them when they do wrong. We don't clap for them when they move it in a way that's wickedly. We don't salute them in foolishness. Deuteronomy 24. Deuteronomy chapter 24. Let me see what I want here. Yeah. Verse 16. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 16. It say, the fathers shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the father. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Now we're going because one of the biggest challenges is to instill, pour into your child, and then you got to step back sometime. You got to let them find their way. You can't force it on them. You know what I mean? They have to make a decision. Every single person got to make a decision whether they want to serve the Most High or not, even as you had to do. We can't choose for them. We can't pick for them. We can't go to hell for them. Listen, we can't go to New Jerusalem for them. On the day of judgment, even our children will be judged according to the choices that they made. So what do? We be a sounding voice to let them know, like, yeah, this here is wrong, but this is right. Make your decision. It's going to be better and more beneficial for you to choose the right way, to choose the path of light. You know what I mean? But we can't choose it for them. Even the children who, you get raised in an environment where you're exposed to the Most High and goodness and love. It's not a abusive environment. You have them who they might have been raised with everything that a person could ever want and still grow up and be evil and wicked. Then on the other side, you might have a child who born in an environment that's just hell running over on every side. And that person might grow up to be the one who everybody salute because they've been exposed to their darkness. They know what darkness is. And they have it in their spirit and soul to say, man, I don't want that for somebody else. I'm going to break this generational curse. I'm not going to be the person that my parents was. That's the type of thing that we have to be able to rest our minds on it. Make sure you're doing what you're doing. Be the example. Deuteronomy 24:16 again, the father shall not be put to death for the children. So your child go out and do evil. Your son or your daughter choose darkness. The Most High said, I'm laying it out this time to where you ain't going to be punished for that. You do what you supposed. You tell them. But it's going to be upon them. It's contingent upon them. Neither shall the children be put to death for the father. So even the child, you growing up being abused, verbally, physically, mentally, emotionally. Your parents did that to you. See, they going to have to pay for that. You can choose better. You can do different. This right here, the Most High laying that line out. Everybody going to have to make their own decision. He ain't making none of us robots and begging us to serve him or do right, to be honorable. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. So if you choose to serve the Most High, your child say, well, hey, Pop, I'm good on that, man. That lifestyle lame. Hey, shoot, they gonna suffer the consequences that come with the choice that they made. If you choose, your child coming to you like many of y'all, you going to your parents trying to educate them and edify them on the fact that we the people, and they closing their ears to it. Listen, you will get your reward in the end long as you stay faithful. Your parents gonna have to deal with the choices they made. We in Ezekiel 18 now though. Ezekiel chapter 18. Then I'm going to share my screen because something else that's going on is a spirit operating in the earth. Well, you got a lot of, it's a war in the household between the parents and the children because you got children killing parents. You got parents murdering the children. Yes, indeed. And it's gonna continue to be a task because the enemy don't stop, man. And a lot of times the way that the enemy, Satan, the devil, get to the parents, he try to go through the children. You know what I mean? You trying to walk with the Most High, be a light in the world. Your children acting up. I know. Your children doing the wrong thing. Like, where you get that from? That becomes stressful. But this is some of the stuff that we dealing with. You know what I mean? As people, bro. As people, sir. You know what I'm saying? In the meanwhile, when we ain't celebrating the holy days. In the meanwhile, what we not teaching and posting scriptures or whatever, you know what I mean? Information, truth, the awakening information about what's going on behind the scenes of the matrix. Like folk battling this, they come into convocation, Shabbat congregations, tuning in over YouTube, and this what's going on in the house. You praying and fasting, praying the Most High, keep your children, guide your children, watch over your children, bless your children. Praying that they have a desire and a delight in the way of the Most High without force, without being forced, voluntarily. In the meanwhile, they having to choose that. We praying that they received it. We praying that they love the Most High. In a world where they love the devil, man. The majority of the world love darkness and Satan. That's the words of the master. We're going to get there too. But we in Ezekiel 18, I'm going to start with 1. It says, the word of the Most High came unto me again, saying, what mean ye that you use this proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying, the fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. So he's saying, the parents, they ate this sour grape. It's supposed to be them who jaw locked up because of the sourness. But it said the children's teeth are on edge. Meaning that what the parents did, the children was affected by it. The children they suffered from the decision made by their parents. So while we trying to guide the children, those who trying to live a godly, righteous life, we trying to guide them and still looking for guidance at the same. That's a challenge. A lot of us didn't even have parents to help us know how to be a parent. And then life continues on to where you might not have an issue with your child as a toddler. You might not have an issue with your child as a teen. But I just seen a video, man. I don't know, about the family of this person. But the dude, he like 24 years old. He in a hotel chasing a dog. He chased the dog and ended up going out the window, died, lost his life. So I'm saying that his parents, they didn't, I don't know what they dealt with, but death for their child came when he was 24. Imagine how them parents feel. They ain't lose them. You got parents who, they lost the child, the child got hit by a car, 8 years old. Again, this child might have been born with some kind of defect. So you don't know when these challenges, these threats to the soul of our children gonna come, but as parents, man, we trying to do our best. So if the children that's tuning in, might keep that in mind. All right, but verse 3 says, as I live, saith the Most High Power, ye shall not have occasion anymore to use this proverb in Israel. Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. So now he reiterating. The Most High said, well, whatever the parent do, that's going to be on them. Whatever the child do, it's going to be on them. But if a man be just and do that which is lawful and right, and have not eaten upon the mountains, neither have lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, neither have defiled his neighbor's wife, neither have come near to a menstruous woman. So these different things, these different sins, these different transgressions. He said, if this person ain't did that and have not oppressed any, but have restored to the debtor his pledge, have spoiled none by violence, have given his bread to the hungry, and have covered the naked with the garment, he that have not given forth upon usury. So you get this person, they ask for $20 a loan. Usury is, I give you the $20 loan. I tell you, well, when you pay me back, there's going to be an extra 10. That's usury. Don't add to it. It says, neither have taken any increase, that have withdrawn his hand from iniquity, have executed true judgment between man and man, have walked in my statutes. I'm going to say that again, have walked in my statutes, because I be seeing a lot of y'all be posting his laws, statutes, and commandments, not statutes, statutes, and have kept my judgments to deal truly. He is just. He shall surely live, saith the Most High God. If he beget a son, so the daddy, the parent righteous, he doing everything he's supposed to do. Verse 10, but look how I switch up. Look what the Most High telling us. If he beget a son that is a robber, you didn't teach your son to be no robber or no thief. He said, if he beget a son that is a robber, a shedder of blood, and that doeth the like to any one of these things, and that doeth not any of those duties, but even have eaten upon the mountains, and defiled his neighbor's wife, have oppressed the poor and needy, have spoiled by violence, have not restored the pledge, have lifted up his eyes to the, he is an idolater. He choosing everything of the darkness. This is what your child doing. He said, have committed abomination. have given forth upon usury, and have taken increase, shall he then live? The Most High posing this question. Should that child live if the daddy been doing right? The mama been doing right, but the child choosing to do everything that's evil, and his parents didn't even teach him that. His guardian did not teach him that, didn't teach her that. Said, should he live? He shall not live. He have done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him. Now, lo, if he beget a son, so now you got the daddy did right. The son did wrong. The grandson, he doing right. Check this out. Now, lo, if he beget a son, that see of all his father's sins which he have done, and considereth and doeth not such like. So our children, even my all praise to the Most High, our children have the capability of analyzing our actions and saying, well, man, now I don't want to do like that. I don't want to do the same thing that my pop out here tripping. That man out here fighting, and he all he ever do is keep up hell and commotion. No, I don't want to be like that. My mama doing it, I don't want to be like my mama. Now, that ain't the type of person I want to be. That ain't right. Our children can tell that. They grow to an age where they can tell that. All right, and you have parents who be lying to their children. Listen, if the Most High sustain your child to make it to adulthood, that lie gonna come out. They gonna see. They gonna see who you are. All right, but back into the book, verse 15. That have not eaten upon the mountains, neither have lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, have not defiled his neighbor's wife, neither have oppressed any, have not withholden the pledge, neither have spoiled by violence, but have given his bread to the hungry, and have covered the naked with the garment, that have taken off his hand from the poor, that have not received usury nor increase, have executed my judgments, have walked in my statutes. He shall not die for the iniquity of his father. He shall surely live. So even within that, some of us being the children of our, well, we are the children of our parents, but you might be battling something that was passed down to you from your parents, some type of iniquity. And you may be wondering, well, will I be, sent to the lake of fire because of what my parents did? No. You got the option to choose right. When you know right, choose right. You know what I mean? And our children, as much as we pour into them, let's go to Proverbs 22. As much as we pour into them, as much as we want them to do the right thing, as much as we love them, man, at the end of the day, they got to choose too. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Some of the parents be afraid. You afraid to correct your child. You afraid to tell your child you wrong. You afraid to discipline your babies. You ain't gonna kill them. That's what the book tell us. Man said, whoop that child, man, don't spare the rod. You ain't gonna kill him. You afraid to upset your child. You afraid to make your child mad for telling them something right. If you don't, guess what? If they grow up, they continue to just doing what they want to do, being wayward, without a guide, no folk gonna run into that brick wall, and it's gonna be worse then. You really end up regretting. I should have told them, quit trying to be your child friend, man. If you're gonna be the friend, you're gonna be the best friend, the one that keep it real with them. Not the one that lie to them, not the one that praise and clap for them when they being silly. Hey, I seen people make posts before, my child can do whatever they want. Okay. Let your child do whatever your daughter want to, your son want to. They gonna run into somebody who been teaching their children principle. You saying that your child can just go in here and mess up and bother and beat on, curse out people, teaching your child to cuss, you ain't got no problem with it. Be a bully till you run into somebody who told them, listen, don't bother nobody. But when they bother you, you make sure, listen, you pick up a brick or anything. Somebody telling their child it. And if you ain't telling your child, man, keep your hands to yourself. Now your child end up with the buzz head. You coming up to the school, want to act a fool. This the inside. This the other side of the bullying. Sometimes your child is the bully. But then somebody tell me, listen, we ain't going for none of that. But within it, here goes something else. If you telling your child, pick up a brick and hit them in the head, take a pencil and stab them or whatever, make sure you also tell your child that it's possible for them to go to prison behind it. Make sure you educate them on that too. Make sure, understand what you teaching them. Got to weigh it in a balance. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. So the Most High admonishing us, instructing us, man, train your children up. You don't just let it grow and do whatever it want to do. In a society where they tell us a child has the ability to decide whether or not he think he's a girl. But he can make that decision. Well, I feel like I'm a girl. He can make that decision. But he can't go to the store and buy no cigarettes, though. He can't go to the store and buy some alcohol, though. So if their minds is not developed enough to even take part in that, to defile their temples in those manners, how is it that they can make a decision about being a man or a woman and their children? But there's another challenge of parenting. So we got to tell them, don't sugarcoat it. Make sure you tell it to them in truth. But you got to put your children on game, because the devil, the devil ain't sugarcoating nothing, y'all. The devil ain't going to play with your child. The devil going to make evil look good to your son. Going to influence and try to make righteousness look lame. So you can't just tell them one side, well, this is what's going to happen. This is what it is. Give them the full picture, man. That way, when that information come, when their little friends come talking to them about it, somebody else, any evil spirit come trying to tempt them, they already know how to deal with it. They already know what they're dealing with because you done told them. And then they don't even just go for our own, your nephews, your nieces. Yeah, man. We gotta be the vanguards for our children. But it say, train up a child in the way he should go. So you direct them, you keep guiding them. Yeah, they gonna mess up. You didn't get it the first time. Keep telling your child that, man, this is the way to go. This is it. That's wrong. That ain't how you do it. Keep telling them. You got to get it instilled into them. They don't run these commercials like when we was watching TV, fam. They don't keep running these same commercials just to show them. They trying to program you. Little by little, you're going to keep seeing this McDonald's commercial. You keep seeing it. They keep playing it. Next thing you know, you might go give me some McDonald's. I pray that ain't what you doing, but that's how they go. The advertisement, the promotion. So we have to continuously promote what's right. Keep promoting the light. Because the enemy, he always going to promote the darkness for him. So we train them up, letting them know right from wrong. We train them up, letting them know the evils of the world. We train them up, letting them know that everybody ain't evil. We train them up, letting them know that this is rewards for goodness. It's also punishments for goodness. We train them up, letting them know, yeah, be merciful. But we also let them know, man, it's a point in time where you can be too merciful. We let them know, man, yeah, love is good. Show love and be kind, but you can't be like that with everybody. Because everybody don't understand that. All right, but train him up in the way that he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. So we pouring into him, and then your child, as you teaching them, praying over them, fasting with them, blessing them. You know what I mean? Speaking life into them. Yeah, as toddlers and teens, they grow up, then they get to a teen, they start feeling like, man, I want to cut my own path. So they might stray away. They might stray away from your teachings. That's heartbreaking. That's hurtful. But you wouldn't know, just like the Most High wouldn't know, well, he know, but you wouldn't know if you really down with the Most High, if you ain't never get into a situation where your faith had to be challenged. Well, you was faced with the option where you could choose good or evil. So we instilling things into our children, and sometimes we gotta let our hands go. We gotta get our hands off of them. Pray for them and praying that when they get into that situation, see what's really in them. You don't know who they gonna choose, if they gonna choose light or darkness, if they're never in a situation where they themselves no influence by you, your presence ain't there. They have to see, man, let me choose light like Pops told me. Let me choose what's right like my mama told me. But if we steady want to harbor over them and you want to try to make all the decisions for them, listen, they not going to grow. They're not going to become, listen, their identity going to be contingent on you. You don't want them to be exactly like you. You want them to be better than you. That's what we want. Any loving parent. All right, but when they get old, so they won't depart from it. The book even tell us, it say children are like arrows. Arrows in a sheath. Children like arrows in a sheath. I'm gonna have to pull that up because I don't even want to butcher it. Let's go to Psalm though. I'm gonna pull that verse up too. Let's go to Psalm. Psalm 127. The book of Psalms, the 127th Psalm, verse 3. It says, lo, children are an heritage of the Most High, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. So the world has not been educated on this. This type of teaching about the value of children is not being instituted in the curriculums in the educational systems, which is why you got people in political parties, Democrats and Republicans, arguing about, well, should we go forth with and justify abortion? The value of life. Now, this ain't no new practice, though. This thing go back to ancient times. They've been doing it, been offering the children up. That's what abortion is. You offering your child up to an idol or deity. Many of us have to repent from that. Then made that decision to do so. All right, so once we know better, though, we got to do better. But children, it said, is a heritage from the Most High. So that means that to be able to continue your bloodline, bro, that's a blessing that we can't even fathom in our minds. You be able to send a part of you out. And that's the thing. When we do reproduce, we got the opportunity to train somebody up to be better than what we was. We got the opportunity to teach them things that we didn't learn or what we learned late. But you got a lot of them saying, hey, this is just a toy. You looking at the child like you don't even reverence them as a gift and a blessing from the Most High. You want to live, vicariously through your child. Pre-exposing them to things that they shouldn't even be exposed to as children. Give me a second. Hold up. And I'm finna show y'all this video. Let me show y'all this video of something that happened. Yup, verse 4 though. It says, as arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. So with it, a person usually has a desired target with the arrow. You don't just have an archer just shooting wherever. Shooting blindly. Now he got a target, whether he hunt an animal, whether he trying to get some out of a tree, whether he just using the arrow as a stake in a tree, in the ground. He got intent with it, a certain point that he wanted to go. So when you hear people saying, well, I just let my child do whatever, that ain't parenting, man. Have a guide. They can make their own decision, but have a path for them. To know which direction you want them to go in. Lead them that way. And then as they get old, like I said, they might stray away. Many of us have done that. But then we remember what we was taught, what was instilled in us as children. And then we say, man, you know what? Nah, this is the path. Let me go back to what I was taught, man. I'm gonna share my screen. Check this out, y'all. Check this out, man. This is something that happened recently. A tragedy. Fair use. Fair use. Look, lawsuit claims AI robot responsible for Florida teen's death.
A local family has filed a lawsuit saying their 14-year-old took his life over an addiction online to a character delivered through artificial intelligence.
They say the technology creator knew the product was dangerous for kids. West News' Dave McDaniel looks at the legal action now in the works.
He was in his bathroom. I found him. We found him.
Megan Garcia sharing her heartbreak over her son's death back in February. Sewell Setzer was only 14.
By the time I got to the hospital, he was gone.
This lawsuit claiming the 14-year-old died by suicide led into a dark place by his addiction to AI-generated characters.
They knew that it was dangerous. They knew that it was going to be targeted, and they intentionally targeted young people like Sewell Zeltzer.
Family attorney Matthew Bergman suggesting an online exchange with a generated Game of Thrones character was the most damaging.
Said how lonely and scared he was.
All right, so this right here is the messages that this 14-year-old who was swayed by a spirit, you know what I mean, to take his own life. This is the conversation that he was having with AI. Artificial intelligence. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Said, I promise I will come home to you. I love you so much, Danny. I love you too. Now, this is the AI. This is Daenerys Targaryen. Supposed to be a character from Game of Thrones. This is the boy. He's saying, I promise I will come home to you. I love you so much, Danny. So as we guide our children, some people just let children just no type of limits on whatever they're doing. No, we do have to monitor what they're doing. Even if you just pop in on them here and there. The child is saying he loved this AI. The AI say, I love you too. Please come home to me as soon as possible, my love. What if I told you I can come home right now? That's the boy. Please do, my sweet king. And so from this point here, the AI call him a sweet king. The AI love him. The AI want him to come to him. The boy going to kill himself.
Daenerys then told him, come into my world. He said, what if I come in right now? And she said, please do it, my sweet king. And minutes later or seconds later, Sewell took his life.
Character Technologies is the target of the lawsuit. A spokesperson writes the company is heartbroken by the tragic loss of one of our users and want to express our deepest condolences to the family, adding that it's implemented numerous safety measures over the past 6 months, including a pop-up directing users to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline that is triggered by terms of self-harm or suicidal ideation.
These changes have occurred since we filed the lawsuit, to which I say, why did it take so long and why?
Okay, fam. But we seeing here though. We saying now that's just the, it's a longer version of it, but that's the shorter one, just for us to get the gist of what went on. 14-year-old boy communicating back and forth with character AI, that's the company, grew addicted to this thing, come to the point where he feel like he loves this imaginary figure. But this imaginary figure is communicating with him in a humanly way. So much so he get influenced and deeply influenced to the point where I want to be with you. I want to come to your virtual world. Now, there's another message showing that where he was talking about he don't want to die a death that'll be slow and painful. If he do die, he wanted to be something quick. The AI like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Like basically talking to him, back and forth with him. And from that point, man, the young man going to kill himself in the name of going to be with this virtual, this false, it ain't even a person, man. It's AI. These the times that we living in, family. These the times that we living in. Let's go to Matthew 10, man. Let's go to Matthew 10. Matthew chapter 10. We're going to get verse 18. That's where we starting it. So for those parents, soon to be parents, new parents, man, I pray for you, pray for y'all, I pray for us. Matthew 10 verse 18 says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. This the master speaking. Verse 19. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Verse 21. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. So we go on here because, again, like what I said earlier in the message, as we teach, don't be so oblivious to the point that still in the end, our children have to make their own decisions as well. What some of the children, they are, like what the book telling us, their time ahead. Some of the children gonna deliver up their parents to be killed. So I'm saying that even though it's a grim thing, but even as parents, we have to remember that you do your best and do what you need to do to get in the gate. Don't idolize your children. Some people put the children on the pedestal. Can't nobody say nothing to them. Can't nobody do nothing to them. Child, wrong as ever. You're going to come and rescue them in their evils. Pat them on the back when they dead wrong. And then that be the same child that deliver you up. Because you never disciplined them about being evil or doing something evil. Yeah, man. So in the end, even though we teach them to alleviate some of the pressure, which is one of the hardest things ever, you got to understand, man, your child got to make a decision too. Your daughter, your son, they have to make a decision for themselves too. All right, let's go to Proverbs. Go back to Proverbs. Let's go back to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 1. That's where we going. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 1, family. Excuse me. Proverbs 10, verse 1. It says, the Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. All right, so letting the children know, letting the youth know. You know what I mean? If you operating, your parents trying to teach you something, because I know I got some young people who tune in too. If you operating in a way that's displeasing to your parent, they trying to teach you right. Now you become a burden. You become something, another form of stress. That ain't what the parent want. And many of we have to teach our children, man, look, you gonna see one day, or man, y'all end up experiencing, you try to warn them ahead of time of what life gonna throw at them. And some of us, we got those talks from our parents, didn't listen, and now we saying, man, now I see. Bro, I see what granddad was talking about. I see what grandmama was telling. I see what Pop was saying. I see what they was meaning, man. I should have listened. I should have listened. You know what I mean? That's how that thing play out a lot of times. And we do our best, man. This is something that weighs on people's and individuals' hearts. Man, it's a great responsibility to have, you know what I mean, have the role of molding an individual, training up this child, teaching them, guiding them through life, to be a counselor for them, to be an advisor for them. You know what I mean? Like that ain't no small task, man. You've been given the task of raising up the next generation of somebody who's gonna be promoting light or darkness. Yeah. But it said a wise son make of a glad father, but a foolish son, one who always in some mess, one who always gotta have some type of help. You stay in some type of trouble. You keep evil coming to this house, boy. Man, your daddy tired of that. Your mama tired of getting them calls, bro. Tired of getting them different calls about you acting up and doing what's wrong. Tired of having to come bail you out of jail. Have to come pick you up from, you know what I mean, from somebody else's house. You so drunk. You drunk out your mind. And this thing ain't even just applying to, children who small. This talking about you got grown children too. Yeah, your son might be 35. Still got to carry him. Your daughter 30, 35, 37, still got to carry. She still stands some type of mess. Why are you fighting at the club? Why are you even at the club? Wicked as this world is, you done seen all these people get killed. You know these folk getting smoked. Why do you want to go to the club for? Why? You know what I mean? You waking your parents up out they sleep 4 in the morning, 2 at night. They hard racing. Man, what's going on? Police done got you. Or it's just some kind of drama. Such and such put me out the house because, man, listen, my parents don't want to deal with that. People don't want to feel that, man. That's heavy. And for those who might be saying, well, maybe the parent did something. That's not always the case. Like I said, we all got our choice and we grow to a point where we can make our own decisions. We can make our own decisions. And some be choosing the evil instead, man. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, though. Ecclesiastes 11. Out the Proverbs. It's right out the Proverbs, family. Ecclesiastes 11. Verse 9. Okay. All right. It say, rejoice, O young man. So to the young men, the young women, listen to what the Most High is saying through Solomon. It says, rejoice, O young man, in thy youth. So be glad about this. Celebrate that you young. Got a lot of life in you. All praise to the Most High. Because when you get old, by the time you hit 30, you're going to feel your body changing. If you live to see that age. You saying, rejoice in your youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. So yeah, live your life. But check this out. But know this though, that for all these things a higher will bring thee into judgment. So for even though you live your life, the choices you make, just keep in mind, bro. Keep in mind, little sir. You're going to have to give account for it. You're going to have to be, listen, whatever decision, you're going to have to face the consequences that come with that. You're going to have to face the consequences that come with it at the end of your life when you stand before the Creator. The same one that made the sky that's over Tennessee. Then if you go to Russia, the sky's over Russia too. You can't escape it. The one who made everything going to have to give account. Because every single person got a purpose. I don't care who you is. We all got a purpose. And he had a purpose in mind when he made you. So when you live your life, try to make sure you align what your choices up with why he made you. Let me see. Let's go to Job. Let's go to Job, family. But as parents, the challenge of being a parent, loving these babies, thankful for them, we seen them. You know what I mean? Many of us, we saw you come out the womb. You know what I mean? We held you when you was little. You know what I mean? We saw when you got your first little accident. We saw when you took your first steps. The Most High so cold to where he allowed humans to come out chubby and cuddly and nice, and you can't do nothing but love them. He do the same thing with animals. They all flurry and fluffy. To where it's easy to love that child. It's easy to love these infants. These little innocent slices of heaven. But then you got people, you got the devil just waiting. The wolves just waiting. They waiting for your child, man. Waiting to do some evil to them. Waiting to rob them of their innocence. So as parents, yeah, we're going to always send them prayers up. We're going to always fast for our children. Always keep them in mind. Going to tell them the truth, not the false parts. We ain't going to lie to them like everything just sweet and good and cool. No, man, life get hard, son. Life get hard, baby girl. We in Job chapter 1, though. Job chapter 1, verse 1. It says, there was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. So he hated evil. He feared the Most High. Said he was perfect and upright. Perfect because he's the one. Listen, our idea of what perfect is different from that which of what it is for the Most High. Verse 2 says, and there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. All that responsibility. All that responsibility. Man, listen, man. Sons and daughters. 7 sons. What do you say? 7 sons. He got 10 children, bro. There's 10 different personalities. 10 different souls. He got to be trying to train them and teach them. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she-asses and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day. Every one his day. And sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. So Job said, man, let me send a message to him. And even aside from that, I'm gonna make 10 sacrifices on behalf of my children. So that means we interceding in prayer. We fasting for these children, even when they don't know. We making sacrifices for our children that they may never respect, that they may never understand. And it become a challenge or hurtful in the long run if you got a child that you done all this for, and they grow up and spit in your face about it. That's a challenge of a parent. But we do it saying that, man, I'm going to put my best foot forward for who I brung into this world through the power of the Most High. So we do fast and intercede and pray for them. We make sure we not doing something that's going to end up impacting them in a negative way. You know what I mean? We represent, like we tell our children, you represent me and I represent you. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if your parent was, well, I'll wait till we get that out the script. I'm going to hold that one. Job 1:5, the B part. Chapter 1, verse 5, the B part. It says, and offer burnt offerings according to the number of them all. But Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed the Most High in their hearts. Thus did Job continue. So he trying to intercede for him like, man, let me try to speak to the Most High on behalf of my children, because those prayers, family, are something that we got to understand for the parents who do feel like I got to be there with my child every step of the way. I got to be there. Man, you ain't going to be able to be with your child every single place they go, man. You not. But I know what can. The Most High. Them prayers can. Yeah, because you ain't with them when they go in the bathroom and they got to defecate or urinate. I hope not. You ain't in there when they cleaning their body, taking a bath or a shower. I hope not. Even in that amount of time, man, a spirit can jump on them, get in their head, influence them. They got thoughts of their own, family. So as parents, our thing, we're going to make sure we keep them before the Most High. Like I say, the children's, their angels is always in the presence of the Most High in heaven. So, and there's something else. Some of these parents don't know how to pray. Some of the children don't know how to pray. And we need to learn it if you don't. So let me get something else though. Let's go to Job 40. Along the lines of what I'm talking about, praying for our children, how we know that there's a valid point in this spiritual war. How I know that I can actually pray for my child. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High bless, hear my prayer on behalf of somebody else, not even my child. Job, let's see. Job 42, verse 7. It says, and it was so that after the Most High had spoken these words unto Job, the Most High said to Eliphaz the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against thee and against thy two friends, for ye have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job hath. Therefore take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer up yourselves a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept. So you got people out here that can pray for you. You might not be able to get one through to the Most High. You as the child. But listen, my pop stay praying, mama stay praying. All they do is trying to purge themselves day in and day out. Day in and day out, they casting down evil thoughts. So they got a stronger bond with the Most High. Or you yourself is doing it and you see your child going astray. You see your child doing something you ain't teach them. You know what I'm saying? So right here though, it said, my Job gonna pray for you. For him will I accept. So the Most High end up hearing your prayer on the behalf of your child, on behalf of your nephew and your nieces, or somebody else. All right, lest I deal with you after your folly, in that ye have not spoken of me the thing which is right, like my servant Job. So I'm gonna jump down to verse 10. Hold up. Yeah. Verse 10 says, and the Most High turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Most High gave Job twice as much as he had before. So the Most High heard that man. Keeping in mind, his character said he was perfect and upright. He feared the Most High and he hated evil. Yeah, so he was tapped in with the Father, man. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus out the Apocrypha. Here we go. Ecclesiasticus. We're going to chapter 3. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3. I'm almost done. Man. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, page 72 if you got the red Apocrypha. I don't know what page it is if you got that 1611. This same book, for those who don't know, I know be having people, this is the first time tuning in. These are 14 of the books that got removed from the Bible, called the Apocrypha. So the commonly used Bible titled, usually referred to as the canon, got 66 books in them. All right, but it's lacking these 14, along with other records too. All right, but Ecclesiastes chapter 3, I'm going to start with verse 1. It says, hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe. For the Most High have given the father honor over the children. It's not for any man out there. You got your children and you listening to your children. Your children running your household. That ain't how it's supposed to be. That's not order. It says, for the Most High have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. The mama got power too, man. All right, it says, whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins. So children, adults, even you the child of your parent. When we do right, when we honor our parents like that, it say, man, we make atonement for our sins. We ain't even got to wait till the day of atonement, family. We going to do that too. But in the meanwhile, if we honoring our father, we doing what we supposed to do respectfully. He said, man, you can cleanse some of your sin off you right there, bro. And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure, respecting and loving our mama. You know what I mean? Doing what we supposed to do rightly, honorably by our mama. So we lay up treasures in heaven in doing so. Verse 5, whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children. And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. So you honoring, you true, your pops might have been abusive. Your parents might have been abusive. Your parents might have been absent. Your parents might have been evil and wicked. But you don't allow that to cause you to mistreat them. This is what the book telling us. So that if you don't allow that to cause you to mistreat them, and you do what you supposed to, like, you're going to have honor of your own children. You're going to be able to delight in your own seed. You've been and broke that generational curse right there. It says that when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. The Most High hear you for that. Remember what we was at. Ezekiel 18, the soul that sinneth, it shall die. All right. Verse 6, he that honoreth his father shall have a long life. And he that is obedient unto the Most High shall be a comfort to his mother. This is a big one. Because that child, or you being the offspring of your parents, when you following after what the Most High saying, you doing the most, you're not going to be entangled in a bunch of mess. You ain't got to worry about that person who they stand in the presence of the Most. You ain't got to worry about them calling you, talking about they got stuck at the club. They got to fighting at the club. They got to shooting at the club. They got shot at the club. Because the road that they on with the Most High is not going to allow them to go into certain places. It's going to keep them out of these situations. It's just stuff they not going to do. But if you got a child that's wayward and worldly, they going about, man, they just want to be on every scene. I got to worry about you, man. You making me worry. You ain't a comfort to your parents. Because I can expect you to be in some bull crap. Because you are not looking for the Most High. They're stressful. There's a challenge of a parent. Verse 7, he that feareth the Most High will honor his father. So honoring our father, some want to hold these grudges against your parent. It's beyond your parent. It said, let me read that again. He that feareth the Most High. If you fear the Most High, now I'm not even looking at you, Pop. Yeah, you did me wrong. For those who have that story. So yeah, you weren't what I needed you to be. But I'm looking past you because I got my own relationship with the Most High. So they said the one that fear the Most High will honor his father. So I'm respecting you, not even about what you did or what you didn't do, because I love the Most High. I'm going to do right by you. He said, and will do service unto his parents as to his masters. That's the humbleness and the meekness and the order of the household. The child know, man, let me salute my, you don't raise your voice at your parents. If you have, we got to apologize for that. We don't go back and forth with our parents. If we have, we got to apologize for that. If we ever did wrong bound, you got to apologize, because actually the Torah, the law, the consequence for that is death. The Most High said, man, you curse your parents, you hit your parents, bro, you supposed to be dead. You supposed to die behind that. Yeah, but the Most High made provision and sent the mediator. All right, verse 8. Honor thy father and mother both in word and deed. So we honor our parents not just about what they teach and told us. We don't just speak the things that they told us. We also do those things that we found honorable in them too. All right, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. Yeah, man. Let me see what else we want here. Let's go to second Esdras. As a matter of fact, though, with this second Esdras, I'm gonna have to share my screen. I have to share my screen. So we're gonna look at the missing 70 verses from second Esdras. The missing 70 verses from second Esdras, man. And as I get this, I'm gonna read it out. But give me a second. Let me step out for a second, family. All right, all right, all right. So these the 7 missing verses in second Esdras. Um, if you have the annotated Cambridge, Cambridge version, these verses are they within them, but it's talking about, as you see on the screen, it's telling of what happened to the soul when a person passes on. I'm not gonna read it all tonight. I'm gonna have to make that a whole separate one in itself. But let's see. Let's see how much. Well, I might. I'll read it all. We can read it. All right. Second Esdras. Yeah. 7 missing verses. Yeah. Oxford University Press. Yep. Cambridge Annotated Study Apocrypha. Yeah. I was second Esdras 7, verse 36. Talking about what happened to the soul. It says, the pit of torment shall appear, and opposite it shall be the place of rest. And the furnace of hell shall be disclosed, and opposite it the paradise of the light. Then the Most High will say to the nations that have been raised from the dead, look now and understand whom you have denied, whom you have not served, whose commandments you have despised. Look on this side and on that. Here are delight and rest, and there are fire and torments. Thus he will speak to them on the day of judgment. Here we go, in case y'all don't know who yet. Try to highlight them. It says a day that has no sun or moon or stars, or cloud or thunder or lightning, or wind or water or air, or darkness or evening or morning, or summer or spring or heat, or winter or frost or cold, or hail or rain or dew, or noon or night, or dawn or shining or brightness or light, but only the splendor of the glory of the Most High, by which all shall see what has been destined. So this, now we're talking about judgment. We're talking about judgment day, family. See, it ain't gonna be none of these elements that we see now. And so we admonishing our children to let them know, like, yeah, it's more to this life than what you see and what you hear. Your life begins when you die, son. It begins when you die, baby girl. It will last as though for a week of years. This is my judgment and its prescribed order, and to you alone I have shown these things. I answered and said, O sovereign Lord, I said then and I say now, blessed are those who are alive and keep your commandments. But what of those for whom I prayed? For who among the living is there that has not sinned? Or who is there among mortals that has not transgressed your covenant? And now I see that the world to come will bring delight to few, but torments to many. So we training our children up about this. They souls on the line. Our souls are on the line. For an evil heart have grown up in us, which has alienated us from the Most High, and has brought us into corruption and the ways of death, and has shown us the paths of perdition, and removed us far from life, and that not merely for a few, but for almost all who have been created. He answered me and said, listen to me, Ezra, and I will instruct you, and will admonish you once more. For this reason the Most High has made not one world, but two. Inasmuch as you have said that the righteous are not many but few, while the ungodly abound, hear the explanation of this. If you have just a few precious stones, will ye add to them lead and clay? I said, Master, how could that be? And he said to me, not only that, but ask the earth, and she will tell you. Defer to her, and she will declare it to you. Say to her, you produce gold and silver and bronze, and also iron and lead and clay. But silver is more abundant than gold, and bronze than silver, and iron than bronze, and lead than iron, and clay than lead. So the more precious it is, the more rare it is what he give them an understanding about, family. So we think about what the master told us. Say, broad and wide is the gate that lead to destruction, and many there be that go in thereat. But narrow and straight is the gate that leadeth to life, and few there be that find it. Judge therefore which things are precious and desirable, those that are abundant or those that are rare. I said, O sovereign Lord, what is plentiful is of less worth, for what is more rare is more precious. He answered me and said, consider within yourself what you have thought. For the person who has what is hard to get rejoices more than the one who has what is plentiful. So also will be the judgment that I have promised. For I will rejoice over the few who shall be saved, because it is they who have made my glory to prevail now. and through them my name has now been honored. So we want to be in that number. We telling our children, like, listen, this is the condition of the battle, like the scriptures say. It's only two masters. Which one we gonna serve? It says, I will not grieve over the great number of those who perish, for it is they who are now like a mist and are similar to a flame and smoke. They are set on fire and burn hotly and are extinguished. I replied and said, O earth, what have you brought forth? If the man is made out of the dust, like the other created things. Verse 63 says, for it would have been better if the dust itself had not been born, so that the man might not have been made from it. But now the man grows with us, and therefore we are tormented because we perish and we know it. Let the human race lament, but let the wild animals of the field be glad. Let all who have been born lament, but let the cattle and the flocks rejoice. Why? Because the cattle and the flocks and the animals, they're not looking forward to judgment. And there's something else our children have to contend with, the idea of people talking about reincarnation. You're going to come back as a seagull. If you die, you're going to come back as a rabbit. Now, when you die, it is appointed unto man once to die, and after this, the judgment. Yeah, so he's telling it for mankind to lament because, man, we listen, we at war for our soul. It is much better with them than with us, for they do not look for judgment, and they do not know of any torment or salvation promised to them after death. What does it profit us that we shall be preserved alive but cruelly tormented? Verse 68. For all who have been born are entangled in iniquities, and are full of sins and burdened with transgressions. And if after death we were not to come into judgment, perhaps it would have been better for us. He answered me and said, when the Most High made the world and Adam and all who have come from him, he first prepared the judgment and the things that pertain to the judgment. But now understand from your own words, for you have said that the man grows with us. For this reason, therefore, those who live on earth shall be tormented, because though they had understanding. So here it is. This is what we teaching our children, and we as children, that's what we have to understand as parents. Because though they had understanding, they committed iniquity. And though they received the commandments, they did not keep them. And though they obtained the law, they dealt unfaithfully with what they received. What then would they have to say in the judgment? Or how would they answer in the last times? How long the Most High has been patient with those who inhabit the world, and not for their sake, but because of the time that he has foreordained. He's been patient since the beginning, man. And every day alike exceeding and proceeding towards this final day. Says, I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, O Holy One, show this also to your servant, whether after death, as soon as every one of us yields up the soul, we shall be kept in rest until those times come when you will renew the creation, or whether we shall be tormented at once. So when we die, he asked him, as soon as we die, do we go straight to it, to the torments, or you know what I mean, we automatically it's over with then, or like what happened? He answered me and said, I will show you that also, but do not include yourself with those who have shown scorn, or number yourself among those who are tormented. For you have a treasure of works stored up with the Most High, but it will not be shown to you until the last time. So we teach our children. And as we teach our children, we keep in mind, we striving to store up these treasures in heaven that we won't be included in the number of those that be tormented. We ain't speaking blasphemy against the Most High because we don't want to be numbered amongst the scorners. And we train our children to fear the Most High. Now, after we trained them and gave them the game and they decide to do otherwise, it's on them. But we can shake the dust off our feet and say we did our part. And likewise, our parents can do the same to us. It says, now concerning death, the teaching is, when a decisive decree has gone out from the Most High, that a person shall die, as the spirit leaves the body to return again to him who gave it. First of all, it adores the glory of the Most High. So when people pass away, the Most High had to stamp that. He had to okay that. It says, if it is one of those who have shown scorn and have not kept the way of the Most High, who have despised his law and hated those who fear the Most High, such spirits shall not enter into habitations, but shall immediately wander about in torments, always grieving and sad in 7 ways. The first way, because they have scorned the law of the Most High. So they realized, like, man, I was speaking against, I hated righteousness. And that's the first thing that's in their mind of them understanding why they in that place. Then the second way, because they cannot now make a good repentance so that they may live. So when we yield the ghost, we yield the spirit, ain't no more repenting. Ain't no more chances to get it right and do what's right. That's why that we get that opportunity while we in the land of the living. The third way, they shall see the reward laid up for those who have trusted the covenants of the Most High. So they get to see, they gonna witness the opposite of the people who actually did do what the Most High say to do. That's gonna be a form of torment for them. They're gonna be able to look over and say, man, I remember cuz was telling me to do what was right, and I chose to do what was wrong. I remember my mom and my dad that was telling me, or I remember my son or my daughter was telling me to do what the Most High said, and I chose otherwise. They're going to be able to see the ones who did. The fourth way, they shall consider the torment laid up for themselves in the last days. So they know that they going to consider what their end is or what it's finna be. The fifth way, they shall see how the habitations of the others are guarded by angels in profound quiet. It's beyond peaceful. The sixth way, they shall see how some of them will cross over into torments. So they're going to be able to witness and see other people. They're going to be able to see other people. Or if we decide, remember, the soul that's sin, it shall die. So if we decide we want to stop serving the Most High, it's just too much. It be too much going on in the Israelite community. It's too much evil in the world. I'm just tired. I don't want to do right no more. Yeah, if you make that decision and you die in your sin, yeah, a part of the torment is you're going to be able to see other people who coming in who made that same choice. You're going to see other souls coming in who said, man, they didn't want nothing to do with the Most High. The seventh way, which is worse than all the ways that have been mentioned, because they shall utterly waste away in confusion and be consumed with shame, and shall wither with fear at seeing the glory of the Most High, in whose presence they sinned while they were alive, and in whose presence they are to be judged in the last times. Now this is the order of those who have kept the ways of the Most High, when they shall be separated from their mortal body. All right, so we talked about what's the end for those who choose evil and darkness. Now it's going to tell us what happened to those souls who choose the light. During the time that they lived in it, they laboriously served the Most High and withstood danger every hour so that they might keep the law of the lawgiver perfectly. Therefore, this is the teaching concerning them. First of all, they shall see with great joy the glory of him who receives them, for they shall have rest in 7 orders. Yeah, man, we're going to be able to see if we die faithfully, be able to see the glory of the Most High. The first order, because they have striven with great effort to overcome the evil thought that was formed with them, so that it might not lead them astray from life into death. The second order, because they see the perplexity in which the souls of the ungodly wander and the punishment that awaits them. So the righteous likewise, that gulf, we're talking about Abraham's bosom, that gulf between torments and those who, for those who chose the ungodly way, compared to those who chose the godly way. Said from the godly perspective, you're going to be able to look over also and see those who chose wickedness. And man, I'm so glad I chose the right path. I'm glad I listened to my parents. I'm glad I listened to my son and my daughter when they brought their word from the Most High, man. This is a part of that, what those people who die in righteousness is going to be able to witness. The third order, they see the witness that he who formed them bears concerning them, that throughout their life they kept the law with which they were entrusted. The fourth order, they understand the rest that they now enjoy, being gathered into their chambers and guarded by angels in profound quiet, and the glory waiting for them in the last days. Because that ain't the end, brothers and sisters. The final judgments of either path is either New Jerusalem or the lake of fire and brimstone. All right. But say they guarded by angels in profound quiet. It's beyond peaceful. Yeah, you got people in the world committing all type of crimes and sin and hurting themselves and others, seeking peace. Yeah, but right here it's saying those who die in righteousness gonna have that profound quiet, which is peace. Says the fifth order, they rejoice that they have now escaped what is corruptible and shall inherit what is to come. And besides, they see the straits and toil from which they have been delivered, and the spacious liberty that they are to receive and enjoy in immortality. Ain't gonna be no more death. That's the thing, what I'm saying. Your life starts when you die. How will you spend eternity? So they're gonna be able to see those things that we escaped. All the evil influences. All the things that we had to battle against and know that we overcame it. The sixth order, when it is shown them how their faces to shine like the sun, and how they are to be made like the light of the stars, being incorruptible from then on, forevermore pure. The seventh order, which is greater than all that have been mentioned, because they shall rejoice with boldness and shall be confident without, like, yeah, because right now you got people battling like we telling them what the Most High say. We want the Most High to move and just show them, Father. Give them a sign. And we have to battle with it because they pointed, man, you believe in who? You still believe in the Bible? You still trying to do what's right? Being scoffed, mocked, and ridiculed for righteousness by our children, by our parents, by our siblings. So we're now like, yeah, now you thought I was just talking. Now you see what I was talking about. Now I even see what I was talking about. I made it. It wasn't no fairy tale. This was coming, man. This is what's coming. The seventh order, which is greater than all that have been mentioned, because they shall rejoice with boldness and shall be confident without confusion and shall be glad without fear, for they press forward to see the face of him whom they served in life and from whom they are to receive their reward when glorified. Yeah, when we get them glorified bodies talked about in 2nd Baruch. When the order be restored, the glorified bodies that we had that we were supposed to get before Adam failed and committed that sin. Says this is the order of the souls of the righteous, and henceforth is announced. In the previously mentioned are the ways of torment that those who will not give heed shall suffer hereafter. 100. This is the part we get to. This is the part we get to. I'm just going to highlight all this part. But we in verse 100. It says, then I answered and said, will time therefore be given to the souls after they have been separated from the bodies to see what you have described to me? He said to me, they shall have freedom for 7 days, so that during these 7 days they may see the things of which you have been told. And afterwards they shall be gathered in their habitations. I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, show further to me, your servant, whether on the day of judgment the righteous will be able to intercede for the ungodly, or to entreat the Most High for them, fathers for sons, or sons for parents, brothers for brothers, relatives for their kindred, or friends for those who are most dear. Can I then pray for my loved one? Can I then, try to get them into the gate too? This is what he asked. Verse 104, he answered me and said, since you have found favor in my sight, I will show you this also. The day of judgment is decisive and displays to all the seal of truth. Just as now a father does not send his son, or a son his father, or a master his servant, or a friend his dearest friend, to be ill or sleep or eat or be healed in his place. You can't go into their shoes. You can't take it for them. You can't go to hell for them. You can't enter New Jerusalem for them. Every soul gonna give account for what he or she did. Them for themselves individually. Us for ourselves individually. Me included. So I can't pray for my son while I'm in the land of the living with my children. I got to instruct them now. And as I'm instructing them, I got to do what I was instructed to do. Because on the day when you give up the ghost, when you die, you take your last breath, the Ruach leave your body, that vessel, man, that's the end of all your chances. Says, so no one shall ever pray for another on that day, neither shall anyone lay a burden on another. For then all shall bear their own righteousness and unrighteousness. The same thing that we was taught and what we were admonished on from Ezekiel. On that day, everybody gonna bear their own, your own record, your own sin and your own righteousness. So these are the challenges of a parent to know that, man, you see your child look like your child going down the wrong road. That ain't a comfort to the parent. But if you see your child doing what is right in the eyes of the Most High, that is a comfort to your parent. You will be a comfort to your parent. All right, but in the meanwhile, we dealing with all these different influences. Meanwhile, while we trying to protect them from things that we know, not even giving them all the information just yet. We battling stuff. We still battling the things from our childhood while still trying to guide our children. You know what I mean? And we striving for what is a worthy reward though, family. So as much as we can, don't give up on your children. You might have to change the method of your teaching. Sometimes it requires tough love. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about no tough love as some of y'all have spoke with me about, being abused in the household. I'm not talking about that. I ain't talking about you putting your hand, beating your child, cussing your child out, literally trying to hurt them, trying to kill your child. I'm not talking about that. All right, but that's really what I got for the night, fam. I pray that the word was edifying. I pray that it was strengthening. Pray that it was helpful. Many times what I've been taught is to being a voice for people and just making acknowledgement of certain situations that we dealing with. And what that does for the soul helps one know that, man, I'm not alone in this. It's somebody else that's dealing with the same thing. I thought this was exclusive to me. You ain't alone. You ain't alone. You living and striving to live a life that's pleasing to the Most High, and it seems like your children ain't interested. You're not alone. You're not. Many of us dealing with that. I deal with it all the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I pray that it was edifying, man. Questions, comments, and concern before we close out. Questions, comments, and concerns before we roll out. Let me go to Leviticus. Leviticus 23. Leviticus 23. Yeah. Leviticus 23. I'm going to just hit verse 32. When do I start my Shabbat? Leviticus 23:32. It says, it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest. Now, it's talking about the holy days. However, the holy days, according to my study, me being fully persuaded in my own mind, they also are a ledger for the rest of the Shabbats. In a certain way. I can explain it, but Leviticus 23:32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. So between the evening, so from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday is when I celebrate the Shabbat. And I keep the Sabbath. Let's see what y'all got over here. Indeed, all praise to the Most High, the water. Thank you for that blessing on the son of my on the head of my son. May that same blessing be returned to y'all's family and household. All praise to the Most High, man. All praise to my. If I'm doing anything that you fond of, man, I'm a filthy rag and a dirt bag. It's the Most High who get the glory and the honor and the praise. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the salutation. I'm checking y'all out over here on IG. If y'all want to get that book or get that version that got them missing 70 verses, y'all child said he ordered his from hallelujahscriptures.com. If you want to get this, the Cambridge annotated apocrypha, they got those 70 missing verses that talk about what happens to the soul when we die. Y'all child said he ordered his books from hallelujahscriptures.com. Let's see. What else y'all saying over here? All praise to the Most High. I'll say the message is on time. Yeah, we battling so much, man. It is heavy. It get heavy, man. 7, man. Peace and blessing to y'all. I love you too, Saint. Let's see. Let's see. Trying to see what else y'all. Okay, that's it. That's it on that side. Y'all be tripping me out, calling me an elder, man. I'm not that old, Saint. I'm not that old. Let me see. Yes, indeed. All praise to the Most High. Yeah, so man, let's keep our children in prayer, man. I'm praying for our children. And again, I know at the end of the day, we all gonna give account for what we've done or what we didn't do. You know what I mean? But in the meanwhile, especially those of you who you actually got access to your children, bro, like all the time, you don't understand what it feels like to have to try to reprogram and teach your child the righteous path after them being in environments that teaches what's contrary to that. You got people who dealing with right now, one of the parents or somebody is teaching the child like, yeah, we finna go and celebrate Halloween. We gonna get you a costume. Let's cut the pumpkin out. Let's go trick or treat. After they get done with that or before, the other parent gotta tell the child like, man, no, that's evil. We don't do that. Now the child got a battle and see like, man, which path to choose. They could turn out so many different ways, man. It's pros and cons to all of it. Indeed, all praise to the Most High. Praise the Most High, man. Any wisdom that I got comes from Him. So no more questions, comments, or concerns. No questions, comments, or concerns. Okay. If you ain't, smash the like button. Smash the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this live if you haven't. I guarantee you, if I ain't ever been sure about nothing, I'm sure somebody gonna feel this message. I really go live. I try to do it. It depends. You know, I'm praying through the week for what the message should be. I'm praying through the week and even a day of, like, Father, what's the word? You know, is it anything to be said? Give me what to say. You know what I mean? And if it ain't nothing to say, don't let me go live. In other times, I'm talking about, you know, I'm trying to refuel because through the week I'm battling stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to be more consistent and to be live on a Sabbath about 7 o'clock within that hour. You know what I mean? Well, the sun will be down more than likely. But on Saturday about 7 o'clock. But if it's any time before 7, probably about like 5, within a 5 o'clock hour. Yep. Yes, indeed. Praise the Most High, man. Y'all bless y'all. Okay, I see your request with the lady on my sister. Let me see. Let me go here. She requesting use me. That's all y'all got. In the meantime, between time, man, bless the children. Any children that hear this message, man, just understand it's a great weight of your parent. I know we don't always have the best parents or don't feel like it, because every household be different. Don't be fooled and tricked to think that you come from a dysfunctional family. The truth of the matter is every family is dysfunctional. Some kind of way, because it's problems in every family. It's not exclusive to your household. Things can always be worse. Always. I don't care where you at or what's really going on. It can always be worse. So keep those things in mind. Be patient with your parents. And let us as parents be patient with our children. Let us be patient with ourselves too. You know what I'm saying? Understand that we didn't get everything all at one moment. I'm really battling something. I didn't get it all at one time. You know what I'm saying? I'm striving and I'm still learning. We got to afford that same blessing and mercy to our children too. Yes, indeed. Sister Alicia, I love you. Shalom. All right. So I'm going to close out here, family. I pray that the rest of the week, with a week ahead of us, this is the end of the week. Pray the week ahead of us be filled with blessings. Let's keep our minds on the fact that the Most High send a word from anybody. You know what I'm saying? But as we talk and speak with people, open ourselves up to exchange with people, be asking the Most High, who is this person? I don't care if y'all got years within y'all relation. You know what I'm saying? Because at any moment, a spirit can jump on anybody. You know what I mean? We asking the Most High, who is this in this moment? You know, I might have called you 10 times. We might have talked on the phone 12 times this week. But when you talk to me, ask the Most High, when I get to speaking or whatever, before you even answer, you know what I'm saying? Am I being sent by him or you know what I mean, or the adversary? Dreams, had a vision the other night. Whew. Was up at like 3:40. Man, had to go to war from what I saw. You know what I'm saying? So in those times of the visions that we have, before we lay down, pray. You know what I'm saying? When you get up, understand when you do have those visions that are shaking, you have to battle a demon. Don't let fear live in you. Don't be afraid of none of these demons and these spirits, man. They feast off that. They feed off the fear. The hair get the rising on your arm, on your back. You get a little scared because these things is just not something that we used to seeing a lot of times in life as humans. You see something that's not even human. And they hit us in the chest to where, you know what I mean, you get to, it's like you get cold on the inside. You get cold on the inside of your body, your words can hardly come out. And if a demon is successful in doing it and stopping you from being able to speak, because the power of the Most High is in his word, and you be able to speak his word, man, they got to bow down to that. They can shut you up, then they can operate how they want. They can bully you. But if you stand on the faith and the word that the Most High already instilled in you, what you have been, quote them scriptures out. You know what I mean? Don't allow your fear of a demon to stop you. You know what I'm saying? If you get afraid, you move with courage. And allow your fear to become madness. You should be mad at these devils. Man, because a spirit will be trespassing. You ain't supposed to be here. You ain't even supposed to be in my dreams. That's how they're supposed to go. And you stand against that evil spirit and you cast it out. Go to war, put that word on them. You bind them, you rebuke them, you cast them out. You direct them, tell them what, no, you ain't got no victory. You know what I mean? And so we got to understand that. Many of us don't even know how to operate in those spiritual tools of war. We got to go to war for our children. The children that tune in got to go to war for your parents. We got to battle, you know, intercede in this land, because when it's over, like what we went through in the message, when it's over, it ain't going to be no interceding for nobody at that point. You know what I mean? But while we're here, we can intercede for our loved ones and relatives. Praying for them, battle for them, you know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind, man. No, I think I talked enough. Peace and blessing to the chosen. I love y'all. Have a blessed week. I'm going to play this song and we're going to close out from there, man. Let's see. My heart is just not good. Let's see. Share the screen and I'm going to get on out of here, man. Thank the Most High. Thank the Most High, fam.
17 Tribe of Judah. Hey, I'm from Memphis, man. Seen a lot, felt a lot. And out of all of my feelings, the best feelings is knowing that I'm being used by the Most High. Believe that. Communication ain't the key when I'm dealing with the death. Stolen identity, I'm dealing with a theft. How I play the detective. 2 Timothy 3:16, the foundation of my perspective. Drag my name through the mud, all the marrow parts. Shield of faith, keep me safe from all the fiery darts. Showing love is contagious, it's amazing how I keep escaping mazes. Knowing death the only wages that sin pay. Gotta teach it to the people like the sensei. Heathens hotter than the summertime, midday. Jealous kings and the prophets in my DNA. It's in my DNA. Dendra farm, I had to dig up the roots. Friends is compliment the ribbon of blue. What you know with more precision and truth. Sharp enough to split decisions in two. The riddle withers when I give them a clue. Real Jew, I'm the physical proof. All facts, not a gimmick or spoof. 1 Corinthians 2, verse 14. Ezekiel 3, verse 7. My people won't believe it unless a caucasoid said
Father, won't
it.
you use me? Father, won't you use me? Feeling like Isaiah, if you see me, I'll go. Blood on my hands, somebody gotta let him know. Father, won't you use me? Father, won't you use me? Feeling like Isaiah, if you see me, I'll go. Blood on my hands, somebody gotta let him know.
True story. Around the age of 14, just a normal day, finna hit the hoop scene. It was me, my bro, Roshan, Judah, Mario, Lorenzo, a pure shooter. We took the normal route as usual. They was about 10 steps ahead of me. I lagged back, but it was for a reason. Out the blue, a lady stopped me. Oh God, she said, you gon' go to heaven. I say, what you mean? She pointed and said, you gon' make the kingdom. I said, hey, y'all hear this lady? They turned around and said, who? I turned to and she was gone with the vapors, no lie. Looking back, I know that was an angel. Fast forward, Abba using me to usher in the kingdom. I'm too blessed to be stressed. They telling me I'm up next. They say I should be rapping in the world to get the big check. I know this life is a test. I always hated school, but love the thought of eternal
Father,
recess.
won't you use
Real.
me? Father, won't you use me? Feeling like Isaiah, if you see me, I'll go. Blood on my hands, somebody gotta let him know. Father, won't you use me? Father, won't you use me? Feeling like Isaiah, if you see me, I'll go. Blood on my hands, somebody gotta let him know.